Yo, what's up YouTube? Edwin the Comic Jabroni coming at you. And in today's video, I'm going to show you a little haul that I was able to pick up during this whole shelter at home. And we're going to review a whiskey. Be right back. Yo, welcome back, guys. Like I said, my name is Edwin, the Comic Jabroni coming at you. Oh, there it goes. And today I'm bringing you a special haul video. But on top of that, we are going to review a Michter's RYE whiskey, guys. I know I usually do these bourbon and whiskey reviews during my mystery mail call unboxings, but I figured during times like this, let me get some content out there for you guys and let's review another whiskey, because you know what's an essential business that stayed open? Not comic shops, but liquor stores. You might be in the market for a new whiskey that you never knew about. So I'm going to review one for you. I'm going to show you a comic haul that I was able to pick up. So what's the story behind this comic haul, Edwin? Well, last week I went to go meet up with my buddy and my comic book best friend, Alan. If you guys don't know Alan, he's been featured on the channel once before during the live stream when I unboxed my TMNT Grail, my first print. He was on the show, and I'm going to go ahead and link that up here in this top left corner. You definitely want to go check that out if you have not. But he came over. We unboxed that, but last week he hit me up. He said, Edwin, I've got some books that you might be interested in, and one of them's a slab. So I said, heck yeah, man, let's meet up. And during this whole sheltering at home, pandemic, let's social distance. Well, him and I, we met up at a Costco parking lot here down the street from the house, and we did keep our social distancing. I never gave him any of that dap, love, shaking hands, hugs, and none of that. But we did talk comics. We talked about what's been going on with the world, talked about his job since he does work in one of the big hospitals here in San Antonio. And we just had a good time for about an hour, hour and a half, just talking stuff, man. That's what I wanted to do, just kind of get out of the house for a little bit and talk with a buddy of mine. But he did have some comics for me, and one of them was a slab. Another one was a book, a first appearance, major key of a character that I already had, but I sent it out in my last Comic Jabroni mystery boxes. It was a slab that I had, I sent it out, and I knew that I wanted to have another one in my possession. So, what is today's whiskey of choice? Well, it is Michter's Single Barrel RYE whiskey. So, that comes from the Michter's distillery themselves, but you know what? The best way to tell if it's any good is to try it out, right? So we're gonna open it up. Oh yeah, we're gonna pour ourselves a little bit here, give it the old smell and the taste test. And then we're gonna show you what I picked up from my buddy Alan. There is a mixture of DC and Marvel books, with the slab being in Marvel. Yeah. We'll give it the old smell test. It is a very light whiskey. It's not too overpowering on the senses, I'll say that. So it is a rye whiskey. So it has a spiciness to it, right? That rye spiciness. But the butterscotch. Like, do you guys remember eating those butterscotch, candies as kids? That's what you get out of this. You get a spiciness and you get that butterscotch taste. It is so damn delicious. Like I said, not overpowering at all. This is delicious. Wow. So we got a 42.4% alcohol by volume. This is distilled in Michter's. It is a Kentucky straight rye. Let me see. Bottled by Michter's Distillery in Louisville, Kentucky. And you like how I said that correctly? It's Louisville. It's not Louisville. It's Louisville. So let's get into the books. I'm going to show you the DC books first, and then we'll get into the Marvel books. So my homie stopped by a Half Price Books while he was in Houston. He hit me up, he texted me, he said, Edwin, do you have any of these in your collection? And they're all Batman books. And I said, no. He said, well, I'm gonna pick them up for you. So I was so happy that he did. Picked up Detective Comics issue 719. I absolutely love a good red cover. You know what I mean? Good red cover. He pretty much picked up a whole little run here for me. He picked up issue 720. This is part of that Cataclysm story run. I've never read it, so I'm gonna have to get on that on the DCU, or now that I have it, I can read them here, huh? Next up, we got 721, and then he finished it out here with 722. Those are Detective Comics, and then he was able to pick up some Batman stories for me. He got Batman issue 629. This is one of my favorite, definitely one of my favorite covers right there. This is before, if I'm remembering correctly, this is before Jason Todd was actually resurrected. Because he was resurrected right after this, not too long after this, but this is like around the time where they weren't sure if he was. Yeah, I think that's more right. Anyways, there you go. There's 629, Batman 694, and he picked up issue 695 for me. So that isn't technically it for DC. There's two books at the very end that I want to show you that are a little bit more on the higher scale of the things that I was looking for, but he did pick those up at Half Price Books for me. Let's get into the Marvel books. So let's get into the Marvel books. First up, from Dark Reign, we got The Hood, issue number 1. Now, this isn't his first appearance. It's just a book he said he had, and you know, hey, I don't know too much about The Hood. Let's go ahead and pick that one up. We got a Spider-Man run here. We got Spider-Man India, issue number 1, which I know is the first appearance of this alternate universe Spider-Man from India. And he also had issue number 2. I believe this Spider-Man from India played a role in Spider-Verse or Spider-Geddon. One of the two, I can't remember. He also had this run of Sensational Spider-Man, the Back in Black. So this is right after the original Civil War. Spider-Man dons the black suit again, but it's not the symbiote. He just puts on a black suit, right? It's not the symbiote, it's not Venom, just puts the black suit on. So this is Sensational Spider-Man issue 35. We also got, this is a nice cover. I like this cover right here. This is issue 36. We got a Clayton Crane issue 37. This is probably my favorite out of these Sensational Spider-Mans. This is 38. That's another Clayton Crane. We got issue 39. And to finish it out, Back in Black, we got issue number 40. Now, what I can tell you, the Back in Black series or run actually went through all of the main Spider-Man titles. So I have read Amazing Spider-Man Back in Black, which I thought was an amazing run. That's where, spoiler alert, Kingpin actually, you know, now that everybody knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man, well, Kingpin goes out of his way to try to destroy, you know, Peter Parker and his life. So he tries to shoot Mary Jane Watson, but instead of shooting her, the sniper shoots Aunt May. The sniper bullet goes through Aunt May. Aunt May is in a coma. So that is in the Amazing Spider-Man Back in Black. What happens in Sensational Spider-Man Back in Black is there's actually like 2 stories happening in the first few issues, and then the next 2 issues there's a different story with Venom, actually, with Eddie Brock, where you find out that he has cancer and he's dying. But their 2 stories, Amazing Spider-Man and Sensational Spider-Man, are connected because in Sensational, he keeps talking about how he should actually be at the hospital because of what's happened to Aunt May. So, out of the 2, I definitely have to say Amazing Spider-Man is my favorite because at the very end of that, he goes to prison and beats the living hell out of Kingpin for what he's done to Aunt May. Now, let's keep going because there is more Spider-Man books to show here. I have to tell you that House of M is one of my favorite story arcs in the last 25 years. I loved House of M. But this is an awesome story that I have read already, but he had all the single issues, and that is Spider-Man House of M. There's issue number 1. Here is issue number 2. There's issue number 3. this is a really sweet one right here. There's issue number 4 and issue number 5. So, to tell you a little bit about tell you a little bit about this House of M Spider-Man story. As we know, in House of M, they're in this alternate reality where Magneto has pretty much been, given everything that he's ever wanted, right? He kind of rules the world, and the mutants have taken over, and humans are pushed to the side and put in these camps. But in Spider-Man, everybody believes that he's a mutant, that he's not actually a human with just superpowers. So he kind of plays with that, right? He kind of goes, he goes about his normal life as if he was a mutant, and he's Spider-Man. He's got these powers. But in this story, the world actually finds out that it was just a radioactive spider that bit him, and he's not actually a mutant. So his life comes tumbling down. It's a great story. If you have not read House of M, if you haven't read this Spider-Man, definitely get on that. And the last Spider-Man book I wanted to show you that he had for me was Web of Spider-Man issue 24. Now I know this is somewhat of a key because it might be the first appearance of Eddie Brock's hand or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I'd say that's about correct. So that's it from Marvel. Let's get into the kind of the bigger books. I've got some big books here that I want to show you. They are Marvel and DC, and the slab is coming up. First bigger book that I wanted to show, this is one of the larger kind of magazine size books, and it is Batman Birth of the Demon. Really like that. Got this 90s feel and look to it because when you touch it like that, it's got that embossed feel, right? It's totally 90s. Totally 90s. Absolutely love that. But the other one that he had for me was Batman Son of the Demon. Now you guys know I absolutely love some Damian Wayne, right? The son of Batman, the new Robin. Well, this is kind of his first appearance in DC. It's not in continuity, it's out of continuity, but the Key Comic Collector app tells me that it is the first appearance of Damian Wayne. I don't know, but I got it. Now, what's the slab that he had for me? Nothing major, but he's like, Edwin, I got this slab. Not sure if you want it or not. I said, yeah, I'll take a slab, brother. And it is Amazing Spider-Man issue 201. It is in a 7.0, and this is a Punisher appearance, as you could tell by the cover right there. Marv Wolfman story, John Romita, and Bob McLeod cover art. You can never have enough John Romita cover art right there. So yeah, nothing major, not a huge major key as far as the slab goes, but it's always nice to have another slab in the collection, something to throw up on the wall to show off. So, but there's one book that I sent out in my last Comic Jabroni mystery boxes. Now, when I sent this one out, it was a 9.0 CBCS. This one is not a 9.0, it's more in the 7.0 range, but it's always nice to have this because this is a character that we've talked about for a long time that is coming to the MCU. And that is Man Called Nova, issue number 1. Man, am I happy to have this back in the collection. I think this book right here has so much more room to grow. This is a character that they will bring into the MCU at some point. And this book is going to blow up, guys. So try to get it at the cheapest you can. Try to find it out there. Is low grade better than no grade? I don't know. In this case, this is not a Silver Age book. It is Bronze Age. But hey, try to find it at whatever price you can, guys. I think this is a book that really is going to grow. Now, that is just my opinion. All of you might have your own. But it is a key first appearance of a character that has yet to show up in a Marvel movie. And when he does, you know, those books just shoot up through the roof. So, that is the books that I was able to get from Alan. Now, what was the price of everything that I paid for this? Because Alan doesn't give everything away for free. He did charge me a couple bucks for this lot. Now, what was this? About 20 something books? I paid a total of $35, guys. 35 bucks I gave to Alan. And what a sweet guy. He took the $35. There was a couple others in there that I didn't grab. He had a long box of books that he let me look through. And I really wish I could have taken it all. He had runs of Web of Spider-Man, runs of Sensational Spider-Man in this long box. I couldn't take it all because I knew I only had $35, and Alan's a sweet guy, but he's not giving it all away for 35 bucks. Alright guys, so that is my Michter's RYE whiskey review and my pandemic shelter at home comic haul that I got from Alan. So, until next time, have yourselves a happy Easter. Oh! And take it easy. Peace.